After my back was injured, pretty much didn't do anything for quite a while, and found activism, and kind of gave me a new lease on life. Basically, it got me active and doing things and keeping myself busy. Lost a lot of weight, but found it again. But I'm losing it again, so.
When you decided to be an activist, what was the first thing you did? Like, what was the first activity that you really focused on?
It's probably getting ready for the tax day, 2009. We had a big rally up in Wheeling, so helping out, getting that organized. We actually did a lot of radio, TV, ran TV ads for a couple weeks. We had a really good turnout, I think 1,500 people. For, the first one is not too shabby. Yeah, we had sign-in sheets, people could sign up, get it put on an email list, and from there we grew our group. I think the actual first boots on the ground, besides the rallies and things like that, we did quite a few of those, was the McKinley race, where we worked with Freedom Works with materials and organized people going door to door, putting out signs. That's one of my things I love doing, is putting out signs.
Was that the first time you'd put in yard signs?
Yes. Yeah, that was my first time, and always kept them in the car, and everywhere I travel, I was like, pull over here, put a sign.
It's a form of guerrilla warfare.
Oh yeah, right? I love it. It's one of my favorite things. Like, when I was working in Kentucky to get Bevin elected, thousands and thousands of signs.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
That sense of purpose really made a difference, because you had something to focus on.
Yeah, before I had the restaurant I helped out with, and helped my mom run. 2002, I herniated disc. I was working as an X-ray tech, and I think lifting patients with my scoliosis put more strain. So I had surgery, and I got put on, of course, Percocet, and went off of Percocet, not a problem. And then the pain came back, so they put me on Oxycontin. Took myself off of them, pain came back 6 weeks later.
But getting off is a nightmare.
It's horrible. As my mom said, she didn't even want to be around me those 3 days.
Your experience managing your pain has really been one of your motives to get in the fight over medical marijuana.
Marijuana has that stigma that it's a bad drug. You really want me to be on opiates and not actually be able to deal with my pain from a simple plant that I can grow out back. It's non-addicting, can't overdose, and if it does, even medical marijuana becomes legal, it reduces the amount of pills that are out on the street, so you have less people being on pills, people stealing pills.
You started off as an activist and an organizer, getting people to rallies. You started getting involved in state legislative battles, and somehow or another you ended up testifying.
Yes.
Before the legislature.
Yes, I was asked to testify as a patient to the state legislature, and we wanted to get it out of committee, and it never made it out of committee, but it was interesting to just tell my story, and I think it made a difference. Unfortunately, the lawmakers didn't think so. It's just a matter of time. Maybe with West Virginia they'll have to be last, like in everything else, but there's just so many benefits. Not just cancer. Of course, the glaucoma, pain, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. The list goes on and on.
So yeah, before the tea parties and everything, Joel pretty much didn't do a whole lot. He was born with scoliosis and a few other extra things wrong with him. So there was a new innovative surgery. They did it in Florida. So my husband and I put a second mortgage on our home, and Joel and I flew to Florida. Probably 6 weeks later, the pain came back. Yeah. And he's been dealing with it ever since. And then he found tea parties and Freedom Works, and he became extremely active and drove me crazy because all he wanted to talk to you about was politics. And it's like, we have this restaurant to run, Joel.
I wanted to make a change, and I think a lot of change starts local. I just saw the government here just doing the same thing over and over again, people not knowing what's going on. I walked door to door and knocked on every door in my ward. And if they were home, I talked to them. If not, I left them my palm card. And the second time I ran, I guess I scared everybody away because I ran unopposed. So, and I've been a councilman for 2 years now. The people need to get involved. I mean, that's just, in order to have a full functioning running government, the people need to be involved, or the leaders are just going to take over and just do what they want to do as they have been.
Yeah.
But if the people get involved, it holds them more accountable, and they need to be more transparent when the people call them out.
The thing that's different from old school politics, where you'd knock on doors and engage neighbors, is social media and the internet.
Yeah, I mean, this past election, I've used Facebook. Probably, I'd say 80% of my campaign was social media. Putting videos out, paying for ads, just targeting this area.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were engaged with it. Some people in this area, they're a little leery of Facebook. They say it's just a place for people to complain, but it can be used for good, and I see the good in it, and that's why I actually want to bring that into more of the city government, where people can voice their opinion, get them interested, let them know what's going on, then they'll be interested to come to meetings. And I'd love to have full meetings all the time.
That's how you won the mayor's race?
Yes, yeah, I used a lot of social media, and then a lot of people interacted with me and became supporters. So then they were spreading the word, talking to everybody, and it worked because I kind of won by a landslide.
Hey, so you crushed
I crushed it.
your opposition.
Got over 70% of the votes.
You just got through a 2-week firestorm
Right.
trying to protect the local pool.
Yes.
And it was pretty lonely at the start.
Oh yeah, I'm on the Park and Pool Board. They voted to not open it because of lack of lifeguards. Well, after the meet, I was the only vote to open it, or to at least give it more time to find lifeguards. And when I went home, put it on social media, told my wife Danielle, she put it on social media, and it just firestormed. And it brought the whole town together, and they, within a week, had a meeting to disprove rumors and to see what they could do to open it. The next day, we had a meeting with the Park and Pool Board, and they overturned their decision. So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Citizen action.
Yes. Yeah.
Once people found out, once they realized there was a problem, they stepped up and volunteered. They didn't say, let's go find the money from somebody else. They said, I'm going to help.
Right. Yeah, they came together. I mean, our first work day, we had 20 people down there painting and cleaning and getting it all ready. And that's kind of what I ran on. Like, when people know about what's going on in their government, what's going on in their town, they'll be active. They want to be active. They want to help, but they need to know, and they need to be asked.
He had a good teacher. His father was extremely conservative. I mean, his dad, if they wear clothes in heaven, his buttons are busting right now with pride. Nothing would make him happier than to see how good Joel is.
He was a social studies teacher. The kids loved him. I mean, he was one of those Mr. Holland's Opus kind of teacher. I mean, he would even dress up as Ben Franklin to go into class to teach about Ben Franklin. He was a good guy. He was how I learned about conservatism growing up. Kind of wish he was here today. I mean, I know you'd be right beside me for sure.
Part of your story is basically a training manual for the next guy or girl that really wants to change the world. What's your advice to them? Take
the step. That's the biggest thing. Don't be scared to take the step. It's not as bad as what you think it's going to be. I learned a lot in my activism. Used it in my campaigns. The biggest thing is just take the step. Just put yourself out there. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Try to make a change anyways. I'm Joel Davis, and I'm the mayor of Payton City, West Virginia.